Hi everyone, it's Gigi from Inner Feather Tarot. Welcome to the Daily Whisper. We're going to do a collective reading today. There's no extended today, so I'm going to do a bit of a longer reading. Let's get right into it. Deck has been pre-shuffled. I am going to do a quick cutting here. Let's see what Spirit has for the collective. What should the Soul Tribe know today, Spirit? What is there in store for us? What do we need to know? What clarity do we need to know here? Do we need to have, rather? Eight of Pentacles reversed, the Magician reversed, the Lovers. Someone has been tired of dedicating a lot of time to their material projects, right? They have been manifesting something in their lives, but they don't feel that they're getting any closer to getting what they've been manifesting. And they've been thinking a lot about a romantic situation, about a soulmate situation, somebody they want to have in their lives, somebody they've been thinking about, or how to go about materializing that romantic situation. Let's get some clarity here, Spirit. What about this feeling of getting tired of working, devoting time to their material projects? Yeah, they miss a feminine energy who in the past was nurturing, protective, supportive, beautiful. But they're not feeling loved. In the past, they didn't feel worthy of that love, right? Didn't feel stable at all. Didn't feel like he was somebody who could bring that feminine energy, the love that she deserved. Communication wasn't the best in the past and may have created some of this feeling that things were a bit at odds between this couple. But as you can see, soulmates, and a fated pair here. This is certainly somebody this person has known is who they want to spend their lives with, who they are meant to be with, right? They've been feeling, as I said, that they've been trying to manifest, but their manifestations are not really coming to fruition. They've been devoting a lot of time to some collaborations. They're taking up a lot of their time and energy. They've been thinking a lot about whether what has he or she, right, what they have been doing in the material world, whether it's being fruitful, it's leading them towards the path of stability and the path of stability, the path of the long-term plan that they've created for themselves. They've been now wondering whether those collaborations and the time devoted into these material collaborations, which don't seem to have an equal give and take. It seems like this person is investing a lot and maybe not getting a lot in return, and that has gotten them into their heads to think of whether or not, evaluating whether or not what they are currently doing to secure their financial stability is even working, whether a new beginning is in the horizon for them. They've been contemplating that, whether they should go in a new direction and, achieve a new beginning. In regards to that love, and I'm going to move some of the decks back here so that we have a little bit more space, but about that romantic situation, they know that that's their path to happiness. They, something is coming to light that will straighten or really make it clear for them that that's the path for happiness. They are coming with some news, an offer, an offer of abundance, an offer of, let's do something different. Let's do something together. Let's move towards our collective abundance, our abundant as a couple, if you will. But they're fearful that the happiness, the joy in that dynamic may be gone, and they may not be able to. They might be over promising, right? They may not be able to secure or to provide that happiness or to make that relationship a happy one again, right? In the past, this person seems to have been very hot and cold, came in very quick with no plan at all, just said what he needed or she needed to say to make their counterpart stay. And there was a lot of wondering around or wondering about which direction to take with that relationship, with that dynamic, right? This is somebody who outwardly always projected an image of being stable, being in their power, being, uh, self-assured, being, somebody who was willing to, a big provider, right? Somebody who had a plan, and that's really their projection. Seems to be a bit of an egotistical person here, and again, it's just a little more ego than what we used to see, but inside there was a lot of self-doubt, a lot of not feeling loved, but projecting this image of I'm the man, or I'm the person. And I hate to say I'm the man because again, there's no real gender in tarot. It's feminine and masculine, and we all carry both. But it's whoever the masculine energy here projected that I am all that, but internally there was a feeling of not feeling adequate, not feeling secure, a lot of insecurity. But projecting a completely different image, and somebody who came in hot and cold, right? That created a lot of confusion because they were confused themselves, right? In this fear, this current fear of, oh my goodness, what I'm manifesting is really might not come to fruition. There's been a lot of stagnation, a lot of sitting around and not doing anything, right? There is a thought and an understanding that things need to set in motion, but this person is not doing anything. This person is waiting to see how things are going to play out, right? Whether the other person is going to be their counterpart is going to make a move, the feminine, and it seems to me this is a very masculine energy. So, I mean, they've been reminiscing on a feminine, so they are waiting for the feminine to make a move. They're standing where they are, standing still, and just in that very negative mindset that things are not going to work, that there is an injustice here, that they are the victim, that nothing that they decide to do, that no project of theirs is ever fruitful. And that's, both romantically as well as, materially, like the financial abundance. But they're really trapped in that victim mentality, which is what's keeping them small right now, right? Keeping them stuck. This is an energy of being stuck. But self barriers, right? Their own inner thoughts are keeping them stuck, right? They're ready for a new beginning in love. It's what they desire more than anything else. They want to come in with an offer, but they are so trapped in the past. They are so focused elsewhere. Their time is being devoted to making ends meet, to they are a very reactive type of person, it seems. Somebody who's their whole lives, it seems, has been, they've been the kid with a finger in the dam, right? Oh, stuff is broken here. How do I fix it? Let me put my finger here and make sure that nothing falls down here. So they have been consumed by all these situations, right? All of these dynamics around them, which requires them to devote a lot of time, energy, effort, mental strength to these situations. And they're preventing them from being able to focus on moving ahead and investing in that new beginning in love. A lot of secrets in the past, secrets that they feared if they came to light would not have benefited or not allow them to achieve that abundance, that new beginning and abundance. I mean, they seems like it's the person who's always trying to start over, but they were, they were tired of keeping these secrets, which creates a situation where a lot of things kind of spiraled out of control. And by the looks of it, these secrets had something to do with how this queen would view them. They were very fearful that if these secrets came to light, perhaps this queen would not want to have that first beginning, that new beginning with them, would not move toward, would not see them as an abundant person, a person who could provide stability. They would see through their, their sham. I mean, their image. I mean, their projected image is very, very different than how they were feeling inside. So perhaps bringing these secrets to light tapped into having to be vulnerable with this feminine, and they weren't ready for that. But a drastic change threw them for a loop. Something changed drastically, and perhaps it was related to this feminine kind of wising up and just saying, there's no movement here, you're coming in hot and cold, there's some manipulation here, I'm not staying, I need something else, I need something different. Perhaps that is the change that happened here. Whatever change happened in the past shocked them. They weren't expecting that. In their minds, things will always be the way they were. Perhaps the feminine saw through their manipulation tactics. Perhaps, she said something to the effect of, I see what you're doing and I don't like it. But whatever it was shocked them. It shocked them and, really threw a monkey wrench into things, right? Currently, a cycle needs to end. Whatever has been happening, and this person has been carrying the past with them for a very, very, very long time. A lot of secrets that have been brought from the past. Well, this is a cycle that needs to end, right? That feeling of not being vulnerable, not communicating true feelings, not opening themselves up for love needs to end so that they can stop reminiscing on a time when things were simpler, when things were happier, when things were uncomplicated, right? In order for them to be able to go back to having everything okay, everything, moving smoothly, this cycle needs to end. This person doesn't seem like this is the first time this person goes through this cycle. This is somebody who's been very afraid of vulnerability. And again, as I said, it's kept them small, right? That mindset has kept them small, right? In the future, in order for them to achieve that partnership that they really want, that fated partnership, that, they have to come clean. There's a lot of deceit, a lot of sneakiness, a lot of manipulation. A decision needs to be made here. They have to pick a path and go, right? And once they do that, they will achieve that ultimate wish fulfillment. I mean, this is a person who really seeks love. They've been somewhat successful in their material endeavors. Things have been a little out of control. There is a bit of an ego here, right? Somebody who projects himself a little bit more, with a little more grandeur that they really have in life. But they've been, fairly successful in their material endeavors, but they really lack in the emotional department and the romantic side of things, because they've been so fearful of vulnerability, because there have been so many secrets, a lot of manipulation to maintain this facade, to maintain this, the optics of being this individual that's larger than life. This is really, really, they're in their ego. And again, that cycle needs to happen. That ego death needs to happen, right? This vulnerability, this fear of vulnerability here, is something from the past. perhaps an inner child wound, something that came from, a prior relationship or maybe a family life. But, this is a person who really struggles with communication, really struggles with vulnerability, and they are tired. They are tired of doing that. They are ready for a change, and they are ready to get out of that victim mentality. I mean, they have abundance. There are good things around them, but they're so focused on the negative that, they're manifesting negativity. That's the thing, right? Whatever you put out in the universe, you get it back. So you're putting out happy thoughts and happiness and, and goodness out there, you're getting them back to you, right? But if you're projecting sadness, depression and things that are not very positive, you're only going to get things that are negative back to you, right? Currently, this person is feeling, unbalanced, feeling like things are not going the way they expect things to be. They are not feeling like they are empowered at all. They are feeling unworthy. They are feeling conflicted. They're feeling that they're not financially stable right now. For as much as they've been fighting to devote time to make their projects work and, work on their financial stability, they're exhausted. Things are not working. Things are not going in the direction that they should be going, right? And they feel that they didn't treat, they see their feminine as somebody who is fruitful, somebody who brings balance and brings fulfillment and it brings stability to their lives, right? But an injustice has been had here, has been done to this feminine, and they know something they did has hurt, affected this feminine, and created a lot of issues with this feminine wanting to continue to invest in this connection, right? They know that, and here, this injustice is, they've manipulated this feminine. They've lied. They've kept her at arm's length. They didn't give her what she needed, and, it was all smoke and mirrors to keep her in as long as they could while they were devoting time elsewhere, while they were out there devoting time to their material needs, right? They were being selfish, and they know this needs to be corrected in order for the feminine to come back into their lives as this stable figure, a loving figure, nurturing, abundant, fruitful. They create balance. The feminine creates balance for this person in their mind. When they're good with the feminine, things move well in their lives. When they're at odds with this emotional aspect of having the feminine in their lives, things start spiraling out of control. And that's really how they are viewing the feminine here as a figure of balance. But they know they screwed up. They know that they did her dirty, and they need to come clean. They need to correct that, right? In the past, it didn't matter how much they worked. It didn't matter how much they invested. Everything was an uphill battle. Everything. It's just constant fighting, constant having to push through things, constant having to defend their point of view, right? And right now, there are addictions. They understand that they are obsessed with that material quest. There is ego here, there is materialism, there is greed, there is somebody who is emotionally unstable, somebody who's afraid of being vulnerable, somebody who's lied, who's deceived, but who wants love. It's a very all over the place sort of reading. I hope that this is resonating with somebody, but I have to say, this feminine has gone to hell and back, courtesy of the masculine. His inability to accept some parts of himself had created complete chaos and confusion to this dynamic. I'm getting goosebumps right now. It's just bonkers. He knows there is an obsession. He's greed. He's obsessed with the material world. He's obsessed with having things go right in their career. They're career driven, but they're afraid that they've invested in the wrong places, invested too much in the wrong places, in this, this these bad collaborations or these poorly planned collaborations are not going to help move the romantic situation forward here. He knows the feminine is his counterpart, and he knows that he needs to devote more time towards this relationship. He has not given any time at all. I mean, the feminine has been carrying this on all by herself, and he knows he needs to devote time here. Yeah. It's like this cycle is ending. It's time to stop juggling situations, and it's time to let go of that selfish behavior. This person, this masculine, has been a very egotistical, greedy, selfish, a bad partner overall. But if he wants to, he has plans for the future, and I think that he's put in a lot of shadow work recently. He was forced to, right? There was a drastic change here that made things spiral out of control. And this is a person who, by the looks of it, values control, has spent their time controlling everything to a T so that they could have the perfect image. They could have the perfect material wealth. They could have, the planning and the leadership role. But whatever this change brought about, it kind of threw that for a loop, and it showed him that he is not in control of anything. That, if he continues in this path, this sham that he's living, he is going to lose that soulmate, that person who can really bring him to his ultimate happiness. So it's time for all the lying, all the deceiving, all the sneakiness, the manipulation, the greed, the ego. That's all got to go, right? The cycle needs to end. This is a person who, by the looks of it, this is not their first rendezvous here. They have been in relationships before, and they seem to act like that in every time. They've acted like that every time. But now they've found their person, somebody who they see themselves with, for life. And now things have changed because now the vulnerable side is speaking loudly to him, right? Let's take a look at the bottom of the deck here. Knight of Cups reversed, Knight of Cups reversed, Nine of Cups reversed. So Knight of Cups reversed, Nine of Cups reversed, Ten of Swords reversed, Four of Wands reversed, Strength reversed, and Judgment. Yeah, this is somebody who needs to come and communicate, right? Perhaps they're a little closed off now, and it seems like, they've been waiting for somebody to make a move, the feminine to just come and do something. Well, he needs to move. It's time to stop fighting that conversation about vulnerability, right? It's time to talk about his fears, his desires when it comes to emotional fulfillment. It's time to stop being in their heads and just trying to control everything and going within and trying to analyze. This is an overly analytical person, somebody who's trying to predict everything that could go wrong in this conversation and this interaction, right? It's time for that to stop. And once that stops, that cycle is going to end and things could potentially move forward, right? It's time for them to stop reminiscing on what they want things to be, on how they can't be happy, how they can't provide happiness. And they're not feeling strong enough right now, but they have to come forward, right? It's time for clear communication to bring about real change and positive change in this relationship. And look, I'm just seeing here the Fool. This is the person who's been afraid of putting, just that leap of faith. Yeah, it's somebody who's not communicating, somebody who's very afraid of some of the shadow work. Yeah, this masculine has a lot of, inner shadow work to do, a lot of, dark shadow work to move through. They need light. They're in a bad spot, but they do have a plan. There is love here. They know that the feminine is their counterpart. They're just having a little trouble kind of executing the plan, right? They understand all that's gone wrong in the past. They understand what needs to change to make a better future. The question is whether or not they're going to make those changes, right? So this is it, everyone. These are the messages that Spirit has for us today. As with anything, please use your discernment. This is just clarity to allow you to make a decision on whether you're going to continue to invest in this relationship, in this dynamic, or you're going to move this, you're going to start your new beginning. Today, there's no extended reading today, so that's why we did a little longer reading. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.